Hi, everyone. I'm David from the podcast team at I-Fal, the English learning app. I'm sitting in my favorite cafe, sipping a strong coffee, and I thought it would be fun to share 5 interesting news stories with you today. We'll keep the English simple and clear, but I'll also teach you a few useful words and expressions. Let's get started. 1. Breaking stigmas with art and surfing. There's a new program called I-Fal that aims to break the stigma around mental health. The Community Centers Association and the Ministry of Health launched a series of events all over Israel. In 36 mixed groups, from Kiryat Shmona in the north to Eilat in the south, people with mental health challenges and people without challenges work together on theater, music, and even surfing. They show what they created after a whole year of practice. I think this is fantastic. Sometimes our neighbors whisper about mental health, or people feel alone. But here we see everyone on the same stage, literally. It reminds me of my army unit. We came from different places and backgrounds, but through joint activities we built trust. This festival shows that art and sport can connect us all. Let's learn a word. Stigma, a mark of shame or negative judgment. In Hebrew, stigma, k'tem, D-K-D-V-M-H. 2. Jackass. Cruise final ride. Good news for fans of extreme comedy movies. After 25 years, the wild team from Jackass is back for one last film. They are using a human-like robot, new stunt scenes, and some old footage found in the editing room. Johnny Knoxville said, "Besides all the crazy stunts and the male nudity, I think it's a story about friendship." I know many of you watched their first movies on DVD or YouTube. I remember stopping at a gas station in Beersheba to buy a soda, and the cashier told me, "That show is too crazy." But actually, behind the laughs and the broken bones, their bond is very strong. It's like when you and your childhood friend pull each other out of trouble. New word. Stunt. A dangerous or difficult action performed for entertainment. In Hebrew, stunt, pelvel, pavel, and vezd. 3. An official song for Maccabiah 2026. 2 singers, Jimbo J and Nuno, teamed up again for the 3rd time. They released the official song for the 2026 Maccabiah Games, called Sport. The track has a playful nod to Naomi Shemer, the famous Israeli songwriter, and it mixes pop, hip-hop, and a bit of folk. It's all about teamwork, energy, and joy. Music is everywhere in our lives. Last Friday, I walked through Dizengoff Street, and a street musician played a version of Sport on guitar. People stopped, clapped, and even danced in the rain. It feels like the whole city is already in the spirit of the games. Here's a word. Official, approved by an authority or recognized. In Hebrew, official, RSHMI. 4. A big win for Israeli fintech. In Ramat Hachayal, a 25-year-old fintech company called GMT just got bought by Western Union for 200 million shekels. The startup has about 100 employees, and its payment technology will soon be used around the world. This is a great example of Israeli ingenuity in high tech, even in challenging times. My cousin works in a Tel Aviv startup, so he was thrilled to hear this deal. He said, "Now the whole world will see what we can do with technology and finance." It's inspiring to know that ideas born here can travel to London, New York, or Sydney. It makes me proud, and it may inspire some of you to start your own project. Useful term. Fintech. Financial technology. New tech in banking and payments. In Hebrew, pin-tiki. 5. Hundreds of workers lose their jobs in Nahariya. In northern Israel, a factory that makes rotor blades is closing in the next few weeks. Around 450 workers will be laid off. The company decided to keep only 2 departments open, but for many families this help came too late. The workers' committee said they asked ministers for support, but they didn't get an answer. It's sad news. I grew up near Nahariya, and I know how a factory can be the heart of a small town. My neighbor's brother worked there, and now his family feels stressed about rent and school fees. It reminds us that when one part of the economy struggles, real people feel the impact. Maybe we can all do a little extra for our neighbors, invite them over for coffee, share job leads, or help with a CV. Let's learn. Closure, the act of shutting down. In Hebrew, sgir. That's all for today's news roundup. I hope these stories gave you a nice taste of life in Israel, and that you picked up some new English words. I really enjoyed helping you learn some English today. Don't forget to check out the I-Fal app for more fun lessons. Only 20 shekels per lesson. Talk to you next time.